Questions 1 through 10 on the 2006 Grade 12 AMC 12A. Sandwiches at Joe's Fast Food cost $3 each and sodas cost $2 each. How many dollars will it cost to purchase 5 sandwiches and 8 sodas? So 5 sandwiches at $3 each plus 8 sodas at $2 each, and that is 15 plus 16, and that is 31. So therefore, number 1, the answer is A. Define x symbol y as x cubed minus y. What is this expression? So first I'll just deal with that one. So that's going to be h symbol h, which is h cubed minus h, according to this definition. And then now let's look at the entire thing. So it'll be h symbol this, which we just figured out as h cubed minus h. And then using our definition, that becomes h cubed minus h in brackets. So if you expand, you get h cubed minus h cubed plus h, and therefore that is just h. So number 2, the answer is C. The ratio of Mary's age to Alice's age is 3 to 5. Alice is 30 years old. How old is Mary? So Mary divided by Alice is 3 over 5. And they've told you that Alice is 30, and that equals 3 over 5, like that. Cross multiply, and you get 5m is equal to 90, and therefore m is equal to 18. And therefore, number 3, the answer is B. A digital watch displays hours and minutes with AM and PM. What is the largest possible sum of the digits in the display? So AM, PM, so it's not military time. The highest it can go up to is 12 for the hours, and obviously 59 for the minutes. And you might think, well, maybe that's the largest possible sum. You'd be half right. 59 is indeed the largest possible value you can put for the numbers, and that also gives you the largest sum, 5 plus 9. But for the hours, 12 won't give you the largest sum. It will be 0, 9. 9:59 a.m. or p.m. And if you add up these digits, it's 9 plus 5 plus 9, which is 23. So number 4, the answer is E. Doug and Dave shared a pizza with 8 equally sized slices. Doug wanted a plain pizza. Dave wanted anchovies on half of the pizza. The cost of the plain pizza is $8, and there's an additional cost of $2 for putting anchovies on one half. Dave ate all the slices of anchovy pizza and one plain slice. Doug ate the remainder. Each then paid for what he had eaten. How many more dollars did Dave pay than Doug? So Doug and Dave are our 2 pizza eaters. And Dave is the one with the anchovies, right? So he's going to initially pay $2 for the anchovies. And then he eats half the pizza and 1 slice. So that means he ate 5 of the 8 slices. And you multiply that by the cost of the pizza. And that looks like it will be 2 plus 5, which is $7. Doug ate the remainder, which is 3 slices of the 8. And we multiply that by the cost of the pizza, just the plain pizza, and that's $3. So comparing these, it looks like Dave paid $4 more than Doug. So number 5, the answer is D. The 8 by 18 rectangle ABCD is cut into 2 congruent hexagons as shown in such a way that the 2 hexagons can be repositioned without overlap to form a square. What is Y? So if you reposition these to form a square, this shape here is going to sit on top of the other one, so like this. So something like that, right? When you put them on top of one another, and it has to be a square, so obviously all of those sides are going to be equal. So this side has to be equal to that side, correct? So now let's talk about y. Where is y? Well, y is here. But when you place it on top, it has to fit identical. So that means this y, which initially represented this side, it also now represents this side as well, from here to here. Okay? So that means this is 2y, that side. And then in the original part of the question, they tell you it's an 8 by 18. So this is 18 and this is 8. So that means from here to here is 8. And when the diagram looked like this part and this part obviously were half of 8 each. So they were 4 and 4, like that. That's the only way this can fit like a puzzle. So therefore, when you put it on top, this is also 4, because it's basically this 4 being positioned here. Okay? So that means this whole side is 12. So if that's 12, then this is 12. So therefore 2y is equal to 12, and therefore y is equal to 6. So number 6, the answer is 6, and that is choice A. Mary is 20% older than Sally, and Sally is 40% younger than Danielle. The sum of their ages is 23.2. How old will Mary be on her next birthday? So Mary is 20% older than Sally, like that. 1.2s. And then Sally is 40% younger than Danielle. So Sally is 60% of Danielle's age. And they tell you that the sum of their ages, m plus s plus d, is 23.2. Okay, so we can solve for this, substitute everything in here. Let's keep everything in terms of m. So we've got s is m over 1.2, like that, correct? And d is, let's see here, s over 0.6 is d, but then s is m times m over 1.2, like that, from this equation, all over 0.6. Okay, so that's what I'm going to put in for d over here, m over 1.2 all over 0.6, like that. 23.2 is the sum. Okay, so now in any way you want, you have to solve this, and it's up to you, right? I'm not going to waste your time and add fractions and all that. In any way you feel comfortable, solve that equation, and if you do, you get m equal to 7.2. And they're asking, how old will Mary be on her next birthday? Well, on her next birthday, she will be 8 years old. So number 7, the answer is B. How many sets of 2 or more consecutive positive integers have a sum of 15? All right, 2 or more. So let's try 2. X plus 1 is 15. And that means 2x is equal to 14, and therefore x is 7. Okay, that will work. So 7 and 8 is my first set. Let's try 3 consecutive. X plus 1 plus x plus 2, like that. And that gives me 3x is equal to, I believe, 12, because you got to subtract 3. So x equals 4, and therefore that set would be 4, 5, and 6. Okay, let's try 4 consecutive. X plus 1 plus x plus 2 plus x plus 3 is equal to 15. So that becomes 4x is equal to 9, but then x would not be an integer. They've got to be integers. Okay, no problem. Let's try, what's 5 now, right? 5 consecutive integers. And if you do that, x plus 3 plus x plus 4 is equal to 15. If you do that, that will be 5x plus 10 is equal to 15. And that gives me 5x is equal to 5, and therefore x is equal to 1. So that set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you go more consecutive integers, you will start getting negative values most likely. So that won't fulfill the criteria of the question. So how many sets did I find? 1, 2, 3 sets. So number 8, the answer is C. Oscar buys 13 pencils and 3 erasers for $1. A pencil costs more than an eraser, and both items cost a whole number of cents. What is the total cost in cents of 1 pencil and 1 eraser? So 13p plus 3e is equal to 100 cents. I'll just convert it. And we know that p is greater than e according to the question. So that's it. They don't give us anything else. So this is really just done by inspection. By inspection alone, I can see that if you have, let's see here, 13 times 7, if p is 7, and that would be what, 91? So that means if e is 3, that will work. So that's really all this is. It's just sort of fiddling around with these numbers. So this works, right? This is 91 plus 9, and that is indeed 100. And that happens when the price of the pencil is 7 cents and the eraser is 3 cents. So they're asking what is the cost of 1 pencil plus 1 eraser. Well, that would be 7 plus 3, which is 10. 10 cents. So number 9, the answer is A. For how many real values of x is this expression an integer? So we've got 120 minus the square root of x, all under the square root sign. And this has to be an integer. Well, this will be an integer if what is under the square root sign is an integer. So we can just concentrate on that. We have to make this an integer, and therefore the square root can be an integer. But when, though? For any number? Well, no. Only when this guy is a perfect square. So, for example, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and so on. Now, it can't be less than 0, right? Because if it's less than 0, then this will be less than 0, and you'd be taking the square root of a negative number, and that's obviously not going to be an integer. But so this boundary is set. But what about that way? How far do I go here? Well, let's see. What's our next one? 49, then 64, then 81, and then 100, and then 121. All right, let me stop there. Let me see 121. If you have 120 minus the square root of x is equal to 121. Let's see here. If I bring the root x over, this becomes negative 1. Okay, that's not going to work, because the square root of some number that's a real number is not going to be negative 1. So our boundary here is right there. So cross out that guy. All of these can work. For example, you can verify these. And how many did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them. So number 10, the answer is E.